Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Thompson of drlisamthompson.com, and I have a question for you. Are you struggling with closing more sales? Well, pay close attention because in this video, I'm going to share with you a simple tip that can explode your conversions. And I learned this tip from Grant Cardone. Right now, I'm taking Grant Cardone's Cardone University, and one of the first things he teaches in the Sales Foundation course is to make the shift from amateur to professional. And the way that you become an amateur to a pro is you develop the skill of anticipation and recognizing patterns, okay? And the way that you recognize patterns is you want a notebook out, or you open up your customer relationship manager software. And when you are with your prospect, okay, you are taking notes, mental notes, writing things down. What's their tone of voice when they talk to you? What values do they have? What's really important to them? Do they tell you that they only have 60 seconds to listen to you? You know, do they have common objections? What are the big objections that they are raising? The questions they're asking. And write all of those down, even the tone of voice. So after the conversation happens, write that down and analyze that like a coach would do after a game. And they break down what went well and what could be done differently with the players. All right, so that they can win the game the next time they play on their next opponent. So what you need to do is start doing that, because what's going to happen is you're going to start to see patterns. People have, pretty much there's a common behavior patterns with people, okay? And if you start to see common patterns, you can now anticipate and formulate questions, answer, give appropriate responses, and condense your pitch and make it concise in a way that is going to be respectful of people's time, and it's also going to help you increase your sales conversions. This is what Grant did when he first got into sales. He was really struggling. He was just coming out of being in a addiction clinic, overcoming his drug addictions, and so he hated sales, but he knew he had to sell. All right, and so he needed to do it in order to keep him from falling back into a drug habit. So he started recording everything, every conversation, writing things down. He listened. He took notes on tone, objections that they asked. And one of the big ones that he saw in the very beginning when he was approaching prospects was time. And people would sit there and say, I only have 60 seconds for you to present your offer to me. And so what Grant learned to do when he understood that, for when people were starting to say these types of time objections, that he had to be as concise and on point as possible with his message. So he worked on that. And then he wound up with someone who gave him, you only have 60 seconds. He was able to close that person, and that person became one of his biggest clients and customers. So he never would have had that if he didn't practice taking notes. So that's the one thing I would suggest that you start doing. I'm starting to do that as well, where you take notes and you find out what are people's main questions. And a lot of times too, if you're on social media and you're doing this through messaging, it's sometimes hard to look at tone, but when you see the messages, you can almost feel what people's intention and energy are too. And you can write that down as well. So you can see where you need to improve, because when you start seeing patterns, because our brain learns in patterns, we're a pattern-seeking mechanism. So when we can start seeing patterns in people's behaviors, that gives us anticipation. And that's why the good salespeople, okay, when they hear people talking, they are unmessable, because they can see ahead where the conversation is going. And that gives them posture. So do this step today. Start taking notes on the conversations that you're having with people and study them like the coaches do on championship teams, where they review the game film so that they know how to prepare for their next opponent or for your next prospect, and you will see your results change. Did you find this video valuable today? If you did, leave a comment and share it. And if you're not on my newsletter, what I'm doing, and if you want my notes from what I'm learning from Cardone University, from Grant himself when it comes to sales, I'll be doing more videos like this and blog posts where I'm going to be sharing the insights that I'm learning from Grant. You can get on my newsletter at workwithdrlisathompson.com. Just put in your best email address, and then you will be notified when I have this content available for you. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.